Good Monday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and my trucks, my motorcycles, the SUVs, the dogs, the pond. Wow, it's just a beautiful Monday morning. Incredibly beautiful, it really is. It's not too cold, not too warm. The pond is so clear. That's the cleanest that pond has been in years. And if the lily pads don't come in this year, that would be so cool that was resolved by that little nutria animal, whatever you call those dang things that eat that stuff. We'll find out as the months progress. And anyways, it's Monday morning, the Monday morning routine. And good morning, good Monday morning to all those that watch my channel. Hope you had a blessed weekend, had a good weekend. We did up here, we had a blast. Daughter had a blast yesterday at the car show. Anyway, that's a new subscriber from meeting me at the car show. It was great meeting you yesterday. We just had a great time. It was just a really good environment. Just those car shows were kind of hit and miss. Sometimes they're just really fun. Sometimes, not as much. But yesterday just seemed to be really energetic and fun at the car show. And like I said, my daughter, sometimes she just wants to leave. But yesterday she just was having so much fun, she'd want to leave. So what are we doing now after I bought the Ford Lightning? Look at my hat. Yeah, the Ford Lightning, which some people think I bumped my head. Some people think I'm confused in life. But now I have two Ford F-150 Lightnings. Isn't that cool? I got two electric vehicles. The Lightning, but what better word than we could use today? I mean, it's just the timing of this is beyond believable. Because the word of the day isn't lightning, it's light. And what's the big day today? It's the solar eclipse. If you live in Mexico or in Texas or Connecticut, Maine, Ohio, you're going to be able to see the total eclipse today, where the whole sun disappears from the position of the moon, so that it makes it where it becomes totally dark for in the middle of the day or early in the day, later in the day. So up here on the eastern seaboard, it's like a 3 o'clock time frame. Erie, Pennsylvania is like 3:16, 3:17, where it's going to go dark. And I thought, wow, light is the word of the day. And how powerful is that? I mean, if you think about the universe, the world we live in, what is probably the most powerful thing, the key element to our mankind? It's the sun. And if you read the Bible, and then there shall be light. God gave light to this dark world as we go into the dark shop here. And I got to get my stuff in order to get the dogs upstairs and the troublemaker and all that stuff. So yeah, so light, and that the word light has so many aspects to us in our lives that we all need light. It's the well-being and the difference of you being healthy or not being healthy. So let's get the puppies upstairs. Kiefer's somewhere else, so I can kind of sneak these guys up. Come on, Will, come on. We'll get up here. Come on. Come on, Tang. Kiefer dogs. He says, come on. Yeah, it's so weird. It's kind of like the dogs this morning had a heck of a time getting like him and the other dog out. So that's kind of interesting here. They're just kind of low key. There's the birds. I mean, I've been working my tail off, smoking this barn out. Get these damn birds to stay out of here. And I just saw one fly in. And I haven't looked at the front hood of the cars yet to see if they've pooped all over them. So light. And I have these lighting here. I love these lights here I bought years ago where they sense you and they come on. And that's just the technology of light. I mean, the light conversation. Oh, there's Keefy. Hi, Keefy boy. And there's the birds flying out of the barn trying to set up shop. Hey, bud, I got you a ball. Let's go upstairs. You can play with your ball upstairs. Want to do that? Huh? Yes, I know. Come on. So we get the Keefy boy upstairs. And here you go, bud. Here, Keef. Uh-oh, that's not going to make it. Oh, well, it's back down here for me to catch. Come here, Keef. There you go. I'll just give it to you. You go upstairs. How about that idea, right? Yeah, how about that idea? So, didn't turn on the light over there. So, yeah, I forgot to turn off lights. So, lights. Oh, my gosh. So, yesterday car show, one George, hey, thanks for the email, George. Mr. P, cool guy. He got a Ducati DeVal V4. He's definitely a guy that loves speed. He's telling me about the cars The cars he's attracted to. It don't matter if it's ice or electric. He just wants to go fast. But for George, he was reaching out saying, you probably have more subscribers, probably have more viewing time if you didn't talk so long. And I think, yeah, I don't disagree, but at the same time, I do disagree because that's just my morning conversation. And if you look at the time, I'm already 5 minutes into this video, just walking from the house and walking over here and getting the dogs in the office. So if somebody in my channel, like a majority of people on my channel said, man, yeah, your conversations are way too long, then I'd say, okay, well, there's one way that I eliminate that is I just take away me walking out the front door. Then you can just see poof, me standing inside the garage. But to me, that's not the show. It's not the same. So if you're in a hurry, no doubt, my channel is not going to cater to you on the 10-minute conversation. Mine's more in-depth of just sharing views and ideas and thoughts and small talk that goes with my channel. I mean, you tune into these other YouTubers and they have a message and it's all about the message, but you don't really know that person on a personal level. You don't really connect with them. I can't connect with a lot of these other YouTubers that have a 10-minute, 15-minute conversation directly pertaining to a subject. My channel is more about the cars and coffee. It's more about if you and I were standing next to each other or you came to my office this morning, we'd be having a conversation and we'd be talking back and forth. And those type of conversations typically aren't 10-minute conversations or 20, 30-minute conversations or longer. So for the record, I'm just going to keep on doing what I do. And for those that don't like it, whatever. I can't, whatever. I want subscribers and I want people to enjoy my channel. But I think a lot of people, I would say more people enjoy the morning conversations that are quite lengthy. And here, Mr. Dumbass Iceman put the flag on backwards. Yeah, after what's so crazy is on my other Ford Bronco Cactus, I made a video yesterday how to put the flag on your vehicle properly, and I figured I'd do that just to see the response I'd get. So it's so incredible. Is on my Cactus Gray Bronco I had, I put that flag, the stars, to the front for the cavalry charging into the whatever you want to say. So I had the stars on the left, facing forward towards the car. I had so many people on many occasions say, you have your flag backwards. I'm like, what? I'm like, how? How is that? The stars. So you know what? I put it on backwards to see if people figured out I did put it on backwards. So yeah, so you don't do it that way. You put the stars to the front per my the Biker Bug and other individuals that have all reached out, and Brian and have called me out like, no, man, you got it backwards. You're just backwards, Iceman. Yeah, I don't disagree. Oh, and George. So George said what he'd like to know is he wants to know more details of all these car purchases and how I'm losing my ass. Yeah, I am. I mean, I don't know why, George, you've listened to me, why you think, I hope I'm not conveying on my channel that I go out and buy all these cars and trucks and I'm making money doing it. I lose my ass. I hope I'm not conveying to people who watch my channel that, I'm some magical guy that can get the dealership to raise the value of that Ford Mustang Mach-E of $32,000 to $50,000, the trade value of the car. And I only owe $30,000 on it instead of owing $63,000 on it. I mean, yeah, so George wants me to get more involved in, giving you the breakdown of what really played out, like on the Lightning. And since we're talking about the light, we'll just use the Ford Lightning. So the Ford Lightning's all about, lightning. What do you relate with lightning? You relate with it being fast, explosive, dangerous. So was that why they called the Ford electric vehicle? Wow. Lightning? You hearing that behind me? Like, what the heck is going on now? I don't know. Is that a major accident down there or something? But anyway, so the Ford Lightning, we'll just use that. That really wasn't the whole theme of the channels. I just want to talk more about lighting and where we've gone. If you look at the LED lighting on these vehicles, you look at the instrumentation. But before we get on all that, I'll just appease to George. So the Ford Mustang Mach-E that you saw sit in my driveway forever. And I know some people are like, man, what are you doing? Why would you buy another Lightning truck? Well, it was the only vehicle in the market that I could make any sense to be able to trade for that Mustang, the Mustang Mach-E, for something else. And the problem is, I have relationships with Ford Motor Credit. I don't have relationships with these other bankers. Now, whether you realize it or not, when I tried to buy that black Trackhawk here a few weeks ago when I bought the Ram TRX, no bank would buy that deal. There's not one bank. Personal, business, nothing, goose egg, zero. Even though people were telling me don't buy it, which I was kind of on the same page, but I couldn't even get financing for it. So it didn't matter. Didn't matter. That's the thing. I have unique relationships with certain banks, and I'm forced to hand in some ways to have to buy through them to make the deal go down. So for the Lightning truck, it had basically $30,000 of leeway of monies to bury that Mustang Mach-E into this truck. Yeah, so it's ludicrous. It's crazy. But here's the thing. I owe 63 plus change on the Mustang Mach-E, and it's worth trade 32. Maybe the market, would I get 40 for it? Maybe I would if I advertised it. But I'm still have to write a $23,000 check to get rid of the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Meanwhile, it just sat here in my driveway for 2 years, for over 2 years, and it had 3,300 miles on it when I traded it in. So for Mr. George there, and this is not being critical to you by any means, I'm just sharing with you, you've reached out on my channel, and I think that's cool because I'm trying to be personable and give back to those who do reach out to me to get more detailed information of what goes on in these transactions. So to disclose all the dirty laundry, it's radical stuff. It's bad. And that's why, having car addictions like I do, I'm not ahead. I'm way behind. If the dire straits happen to me in my life, these cars go bye-bye, and then the bank calls me and says, write me a check for how much money on this vehicle that you still owe on it after we sold it, and we need $20,000 from you, Mr. Iceman. Sure. Yeah, it's huge. The car market's like the stock market in some ways. It's more like the down market. Once you buy a car, the values decrease substantially the first year, second year, third year kind of starts to level out. But the point is, so if the Ford Mustang Mach-E, this was the only deal that we could figure out, I could figure out. Nobody else told me to do this. It was me, just had happened to go to find that Jeep Trackhawk that turned into this Lightning by accident. All by accident. A week ago, I had no vision of having two F-150 Lightning trucks. Now for me, I live on the road. My business requires me to be always moving. And part of me is like, I don't want to give up these electric vehicles, because if we ever have, there's strange things going on. Right now, are you hearing right now how this country is telling people that you are at high risk going to public places, that the terrorist actions are on our doorstep. The terrorism is on our doorstep. So all it takes is the terrorists to blow up some refineries, blow up some pipelines. So it's all, speculation if the Francis Scott Key Bridge was intentionally taken out because of a cyber attack on the boat. Who knows? We don't know. But all it takes is for anything major in the disruption of the fuel in this country, in this area. I'm in the DC area. What do you think is going to be the number one targeted area in this country? I live in it. It's DC, where all the government people are. So for that fact, what happens when the gas stations don't have any gas? How are you getting around? What happens when the gas stations only limit you getting, 10 gallons of fuel? So for me, I'm sincere. I truly believe in some ways these are the backup. It gets radical, but I feel like, so for me, the Lightning Mustang Mach-E was a switch from carrying an obligation on a note to a different note on this truck. That's all it is. And the payment, believe it or not, is actually less. Yeah, I'm going to save myself about $2,400 a year in payments off of this vehicle. And it's more appropriate for what I do because I love trucks. So, and I really do like the Lightning. In some ways, I love it. In some ways, I don't. It has its perks. It has its advantages. The good news is I got the extended range in a 23 model. This is a 23 leftover. And it still has a lot of the amenities that I like on a truck. Versus 24, Ford's totally going to a price truck. You'll see, if you start walking the lots, as the 24 models start to hit, you're going to see $40s to $50 to $60,000 F-150 Lightnings. But they're going to be stripped out trucks. They're not going to have all these amenities. They're not going to have the extended range. They're not going to have the leather interior. They're not going to have your heated seats. There's going to be so many things they're just going to strip out of them. So it's just a price truck to get these things chugging along again. Even though last year, the EV sales were at the highest yet in this country. So the EV sales is growing, even though you can hear the doomer gloomers saying they're not. They are. So let's talk about the Lightning. So there, George, I hope that kind of gave you a little bit more better perspective. And I got 7.9% financing on the vehicle. I had to write a $5,000 check to make the whole deal go down. And that's why that deal played out. Now, if I had to write a $10,000 or $20,000 check, I wouldn't have done it. They'd be like, nope, forget it. I'll just continue to sit on the Mach-E. And so just a timing thing that all played out. And my good friend, Steve at Coonswell Ford, the finance director, he always gets the deals done, and he gets me great terms and great rates, because that type of rate is a phenomenal rate compared to what I've had to pay on the used Raptor. Pretty good. The Ram truck, pretty good. Most things here, but you go to the Camaro and the Corvette, terrible. Those rates are through the roof. Those are 19% plus interest rates in those cars. Yes. You just hear me? Those are huge interest rates. So those are things where, do I keep them long term? The goal with the Camaro would be to refinance it. This year, yeah, the goal, can I pull that off eventually? It's possible, because these cars have great value, and I put a lot of money down on them. So they have, so these cars here, to answer, it's like George, this car here, I put a $10,000 on this car. So this car here, for what I owe and what it's worth, I can sell this and walk away from it. The Corvette, same thing. I put a ton of money down. I can sell it and walk away. But then you go into these other cars, but these were outright purchases, not trades. That's where you get killed. That's the challenge. Is once you start trading something for something, then it's the negative equity. It's like that Charger out there is buried. That thing's buried from the smoke show to the brand new price of no discount. That car isn't worth. That car right there is at least $30,000 upside down right now. No doubt in my mind. 20, 25. So all right. So lighting. Here we are, 17 minutes in, and I just shared with you a lot of personal information that most people aren't going to do. I sincerely doubt that a lot of these other YouTubers are going to share as much personal information that I share with you guys. I just can't see it. But they have to yabba dabba do and portray themselves as this incredibly intelligent, smarter than you person, which, yeah, right. Sure you are. Where are you getting all your information, right? So if you look at the motorcycles, and back in the day, it's really, you go back to in the day of motorcycles, the front headlight was not on. Think about how many us younger generation, the younger days, older generation, but younger days, back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, on how most motorcycles didn't have the front headlight on when you rode down the road. Now it's a key thing on motorcycles is lighting. I mean, there are people that go to great extremes to adding lighting to their motorcycle and the front and the back, on their helmet. Yeah, there's now technology on motorcycles with LED lighting on your helmet. So to be visible by any means, because you're on a motorcycle, if you're watching my channel, gotta get water here. The throat is going dry because of the Iceman just talks all the time. I mean, talk for hours and hours and hours. Until you do what I do, you have no idea. I mean, like yesterday, you watched yesterday's channel. I have 3 hours of talking. 3. I'm not lying to you. Between going to the car show, getting up in the morning, getting my conversation going, and talking to people, and then in the afternoon making another video. I took down the video of the flag thing because it's stupid. It's not the proper way to put a flag on your car. So why do I want to keep a video up that's going to tell people to do it the wrong way? Yeah, contribute to the problem, right? So at least I just raise my hand and go, yeah, I'm wrong. I'll take the video down. But the whole point is, for me, talking and talking. So as I can't get the water bottle open. With one hand here, I can't get it open. So I'm going to be forced to get it all over me. Haven't gotten the rear tire plugged on the bike. Haven't gotten the plug kit yet. Haven't gotten the Corvette fixed. Haven't had time. Just too much time. So let you look at the eye candy as I walk around here and drink my water. So anyways, the lighting on these vehicles and the motorcycles, the cars, it's changed dramatically. It's the key ingredient. I mean, vision, your sight. So think this through. If everything goes dark, if you're in a room and there's no light, you can't see. You're blind. Well, in so many ways, that's the same thing as driving down the road in a motorcycle or driving the road in a car at nighttime and your lights don't work anymore. You can't drive. I mean, sincerely, if you're in a dark, let's just say it's a dark, rainy night and you're on the back roads with no street lighting and your lights go out, how are you going to see? You won't. You'd have to literally pull over. Then you have to only hope that your car's flashers worked or your motorcycle flashers. Now you're an object in the road. I mean, who hasn't been going down the road and seen a car with no lights on and be like, whoa, where'd that guy come from? I mean, it's huge. And it's a huge problem today more than ever because the illumination of your interior lights for your dashboard are on 24/7. Meaning, in the old days, those people that have the older cars back in the good old days, right? The instrumentation did not light up. So today, it's a huge problem. I see it all the time. Now, if you have the setting on your dash for your knob, for your lights correctly, and you have the auto setting where your high beams or your lights come on automatically. I mean, so for the younger generation, they weren't exposed to this stuff. I mean, it's because of everything's so new and so automated. But back in the day, like this car here, if you go back so many years, the Camaros, the Challengers, the Mustangs, you had to physically turn on the lights in the evening. They didn't just automatically turn on. And back in the day, you didn't have daytime running lights in all these cars. And that's where the problem lies, because people now have their lights are on. I guarantee every person on the channel will say, yeah, I've seen this so many times. You're driving down the road and you're parallel on a 2-lane road together, going up the road, and you'll see a person in a car where no back lights are on and it's dark time. And as you drive by them, you can see their interior dashboard is illuminated because that's what we have today. Back in the day, you didn't have illuminated dashboards unless you turned the lights on. So in their world, their lights are on. They're oblivious to fact because, once again, remember, they've got daytime running lights. So there's light coming off the vehicle as it goes down the road. So in some ways, especially if it's in the suburbs and you're going down a highway that has post lamps on the roadway, so it's already kind of lit up and all the other cars. So a person's oblivious that their car actually doesn't have the real lights on. They just have their daytime driving lights on. And it's a big problem. But then, as I said a second ago, so many years ago, people drive, and it happens even today. It isn't even like, because there's still older cars out there that doesn't have the technology. I mean, the saying is the average length of a car buyer now is like 11 years. So if you just went back so many years ago, you're in the 2000 years, early 2000. Now, the average car, so what would you say now the average car is a 2012, 13, 14 model car that's still going up and down the road. But you go back years before that, so people drive down the road, and it's really bad. And who hasn't gone out of their way trying to beep their horn, flash your lights, whatever it may be, trying to give this person awareness that they're driving down the road blind, meaning they're driving down the road and people don't know they're on the road. It's very, very dangerous. And so then, as you get now further into the age of the LEDs, like my whole garage, I replaced all my fluorescent lights with LED lighting. And that made a huge difference of the lights giving me a brighter inside the garage here. And it's a more efficient energy. So LED lighting, that's the talk of town all the time, is everybody's, it's all about LED lighting, which that's in most of today's cars, which is a cleaner look. But here's the thing. There's a whole article, which I never even read the article, but there was a whole article talking about the aggravation of the new cars that have LED lighting that are blinding people. And it's true. If you drive at nighttime, which I don't drive at nighttime much. As you get older in life, you just don't travel. You're not out and about like you used to be when you're younger. You kind of get that. You're more at home in the evening per se as you progress. When you're younger, you're going out with your friends, you're going places. But now there's so much technology to be able to sit at home and do so many things and interact with people. You don't have to go anywhere for the most part. But the whole point is these new trucks and cars that have this LED lighting is blinding. Even me, I drive on the road and you're thinking, wow, who hasn't had the car that a person's flashing their lights at you thinking your high beams are on? And it's very bad. And what's even really interesting, that Ford Power Boost that I got rid of, that Ford F450, that is such a nice truck. If you watch my channel on Saturday, I went to Oarsman Ford to tell them, get my freaking tags. I need my damn tags. Meanwhile, my key guy, Alex, no longer is there, and he went to Malloy Ford of Alexandria, and he's now the GM there. So that's pretty impressive for Alex. He's not listening to my channel, but if he was, I'd tell him congratulations on your new role and moving up in the career of automotive sales. And he's been in finance, sales, and now he's going to be a GM, and now he's a GM. So, but they had a silver truck, just like mine, all jacked up. I actually think my truck looks cleaner and nicer, and it is nicer. Those big-ass tires and things, terrible. But it's all jacked up. So when you jack your truck up, where's the lights now? So that Ford F-150 Power Boost I got rid of, this is no lie. When I would tow this trailer right here, it would squat the back end. It would jack the front end up. Oh my gosh, going down Route 81, I would have so many tractor trailer drivers be pissed off at me. I would go by them and they'd be flashing their lights at me because they thought I had my high beams on. I'm not embellishing on that. On 81, I'd be on the same lane. I'm not talking about opposing traffic. I'm talking about going the same direction, and I'm behind a tractor trailer, and as I go by him, the mirrors, his big ass mirrors, the way my truck is, looks like it's launching because the back of the end has that heavy trailer squatting it down. They think I have my high beams on. So, I mean, literally, they would be flat. They would just turn on their high beams, and they'd be flashing their lights. Like, dude, you got to turn off your high beams. Like, my high beams aren't on. It's the position of the truck. So it doesn't know those challenges. A lot of bikers, I think there's a very fine line in this. So a lot of bikers turn their high beams on when they go down the road because their feeling is they're going to be more visible. I'm going to tell you straight up, many days I've come up on motorcyclists that do that, and it's blinding. It is blind. It's like, dude, you're blinding me. In some ways, it's more dangerous because I'll steer into you because it's such the high intensity of that bike. The newer bikes with those high beams on, those are extremely powerful lighting. I'm not talking about the older analog lighting where it looks yellow. It's this what is it called? Like a crystal clear type of white, blue type of lighting. So, and does that make the difference at the end of the day, you crashing? I don't believe it does. I sincerely, like, you watch my video, do you really think me having my high beams on in Tennessee would have made the difference? That lady pulling out in front of me when she never even stopped at the stop sign? She was just on a mission of getting out on the road as fast as possible. There's no way you can convince me that would have been different than me having all this lighting on me that I would have had a near-death experience. I tell you, yeah. You don't think that still runs through my mind? Yeah. Just poof. What happened to Mr. Iceman? Yeah. What happened to Ice Guy? How would that all play? A lot of people reached out and, how would that all play out if you died? Yeah, all this stuff would go bye-bye. Yeah. And they're like, well, your wife would be destroyed. No, she wouldn't. The wife's not on one piece of bill on this property besides the mortgage on the house, and that's it. And then in Virginia, you have spousal protection. So there's nothing. This all goes away. And there's nothing they can do to her. I mean, so it would all go away. So sadly, yeah, it'd all be gone, But let's hope that isn't my story of my life, just like anybody else on the other side of the channel of me. The same for you. But there's a split. I know, splitters got to be fixed. I get it. Carvana's going to do it. They're going to pay to fix it. That's not even an argument. It's more about, I'm in Tennessee. I'm in Florida. I'm here, I'm there. And another thing is, I have to run a company and business. So it's very easy for somebody to assume that once they just turn this phone off, turn the lights off, that, oh, I got nothing to do. Yeah, right. Yeah. This all just magically appeared in my driveway. You know how much work it is? I mean, you know how much work it is to go out and buy these cars? It is. It is so much. It's the adventure I talk about all the time. So the lighting on the cars, even on my property, I've changed over my lighting in the exterior. I mean, there's so many things that light the light of day. Then what is light? There's a whole nother phrase. Yesterday we were at the car show, and one gentleman had that Porsche GT2. He was there talking about the weight, which I really wasn't even that focused on it. But so the new Corvette Z06 weighs 4,100 pounds. Wow, I didn't even really realize that. Wow, that's crazy. I just haven't been fixated on the new C8. I just haven't. If I was, I'd have one. You know that. But so the light, what's the lightness? What's the goal of all the racing? It's all about how light you can make your vehicle. And here's Tony Stewart that's saying that his fat ass, he's 55 pounds heavier than his wife, Leah Pruitt, because he took the seat from Leah because she's going to be pregnant and have a baby. Apparently, that's the goal. And so for Tony, he's in her dragster. And apparently, up there at the Phoenix NHRA Nationals, he got to the second round for the first time this season. So for Tony Stewart, it was a big accomplishment that he was actually able to he was typically eliminated in the first round. So he got eliminated second round. So that was the breaking news for the Tony Stewart Racing, who he's racing on his own team. He owns the team. He races his own car on his own team. And and it sounds like he's having fun, but at the same time, I don't know. He's just kind of getting mixed feelings. I think, since he didn't really grow up doing that type of speeds, I'm sure it's definitely, it's intimidating when you hit 330 miles an hour. And how many seconds do you hit that? I mean, it's like launching off a fighter jet. Probably, I guess, is it even faster than that? I would think so, personally. But anyways, so lighten up, baby, right? Lighten up, baby. Isn't that the John Riggins saying that I shared with you on the beer can? So the light. What is the what's the next generation of lighting? And that's what that whole article on the cars was. How can the automotive industry make a more friendly light? Because the lighting they're using, many people are starting to complain that it's too bright and it does blind you. So I wonder what the next angle is on the manufacturers trying to figure out how to make lighting, better, safer for the people behind the wheel of these cars. And I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm not here trying to tell you I know something. I have no idea. But I can sure everybody here on the channel that watches me can relate with what I'm talking about. And they probably even say, yeah, I've got an Audi, or I've got a Mercedes-Benz, or I got a Tesla. And yes, people, give me the high beam flash that I got my high beams on a lot. And it's aggravating. And I even know driving the car that I can even see into people's, car. When you're in these trucks, I mean, it's classic. Going down these two-lane roads, I can see the people in the whole car as they go by them because of the height of my truck. Just like this Super Duty Tremor truck over here, where it got lifted. Did they ever adjust those lights? I don't drive it enough at nighttime to figure that out. Now, here's the thing. That Trackhawk that got stolen, that would have been maybe the truck. Maybe we would have taken that. And I like that Tremor truck. I really do. And I really like, so I don't know. But that's just not comforting to think that Jeep Trackhawk is so sought after. It's not comforting. I mean, in so many ways, you have no idea how many days I've thought about, is it really worth owning these Mopar products where they're so sought after to be stolen? Just like the Ram TRX. I mean, I've had people reach out to me saying, the Ram TRX, they're being stolen. People are going for them. And then my gold rush is just like, wow, is it really worth it? Yeah, the Camaros. I mean, the bottom line is, I would have to honestly say, if anybody ever came to me, it was a younger person, and said, hey, I'm able to buy myself a nice used Camaro, and it's the decked out version, I'd be like, okay, where are you going to live? And they said, oh, I'm going to be up in these areas where it's going to have a lot of exposure. I'd be like, I wouldn't do it. Because you're going to be so disappointed when it gets stolen. But I mentioned this over the weekend on my Saturday F-150 Lightning. One of my sales guys, he was funny. He's funny. He's like, it's too bad you couldn't have taken that Mustang Mach-E and you could have done a deal on that Trackhawk and you could have buried all that negative equity, which we wouldn't have been able to do that. The bank never would not have bought $30,000 in negative equity in a car that's already overpriced anyways. So, but let's just say that happened. And let's just say then, he's like, well, think about it. If you buried that Mach-E into that Trackhawk, and then you parked it somewhere and somebody stole it, boom, you're out. You just got rid of all that negative equity. I'm like, that's funny. He's like, yeah. So I was saying that on Saturday on my channel, that, hey, if you want to get rid of negative equity in a car, go buy a very high-profile car that gets stolen, and you bury everything into it, and you just park it in areas that you probably shouldn't park it, and bing, bang. I mean, yeah, so, yeah. Wow, right. Yeah. And then thing is, though, for insurance company, yeah, I start doing those little antics. Yeah, I'm not going to have any insurance. I mean, you start, one person's like, you can pay people to burn your car. I'm like, oh, that's encouraging. Yeah, let me start just burning my car. You know, I mean, come on, man. You can go to jail for this stuff. Forget that. Is it worth it? Just frickin' get rid of the car and have the people call you and just pay the debt and whatever. Just move on. Don't get crazy and start doing devious things on that, because you'll be living in a cell, and I don't think the cells are that well lit, or are they? All right, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up on the Monday morning conversations. Let me go in the office here, because Kiefer dog, the Kiefer dog, I've gone up there a few times. And he's eating my mouse. Yeah. So for the antics of the morning, look at the Harleys, right? And there's good old Kiefer that put his ball on the exhaust. The dog that wants to have a ball in his mouth all the time. Kind of like Iceman wants to be holding a phone and be talking all the time. We all have our challenges. And Carvana's reaching out saying they got the tags for the car. So that'll be interesting when I get those. And let me get my coffee. I got too many things going on here to get up the stairs. One gentleman said you should be driving the Challenger, the car show yesterday. Yeah, we will. But I think the Camaro and the Corvette, they got a lot of attention. So that was a great car show. And that car is just I think that Corvette looks so badass. I really do. I mean, the Z06 C8 Corvette's a badass looking car. But what is it about that? I personally think that, to me, that's more my flavor. That's more my flair. And even walking around, we were talking about that yesterday. And so one gentleman was like, oh, here's the ball. Come on, pups. So Willow's guarding the ball so that good old Kiefer boy can't get it. It's always about domination. So I changed my lighting. Whoops. On my little sign. So it flashes. That's what I was going to show you. So my daughter comes up and says, hey, you changed the sign. The Ice Age TV. I need to get my paraphernalia. I mean, I don't know. It'd be kind of neat to get paraphernalia. The IT people would reach out and want that stuff. And so I don't know. It's just about time. Whoa. Get on down. Get on, Keith. Get here. So anyways, that's pretty much it. So I made it 38 minutes, under 40 on the conversations as a solar eclipse day. And here's Keith adamantly wanting to jump all over me and wants me to give him attention. And that's what I want, right? We all want attention. That's something. And how each one of us just really, don't we just want attention? Isn't that kind of how we are in life? We all want to kind of feel special. I mean, but yet there's just so many others that get all the attention and are treated so special. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching my channel. I haven't gotten anybody, the whole enthusiasm of the sticker being shared, it's just like that's poof, gone. I got a new chair in the office. It kind of seems like I'm too high up. I mean, doesn't it? Because I don't know, maybe not. But anyways, it's the Ice Age TV comments at gmail.com. And you don't have to ask for it. You can have a sticker or two if you want. But you can always just email me and share me your personal life and experience. Your personal pictures, like George did of his Ducati DeVille that he bought out there at Las Vegas. Which, oh, that's good. That's got my mouse plugged in. I thought for a second it was something else. So anyway, so yeah, send me an email and good conversation. That's great. I respond. I do. And there it is. So express your ideas, views, thoughts, whatever may be. So once again, everybody, thanks so much for watching my channel. What's going on next? I don't know. My mother's not doing well. So sadly, I think I'll be going back to Florida sooner than later. So just kind of keep it at that. And yeah, so I don't know. There's always an adventure. The guy's coming by today to buy those 550 fuel tanks that I've had for years. So that'll be one thing I'm going to do. Get something, need to clean up the property a little bit, but nobody knows those stories. So once again, as always, thanks so much for watching my channel. Hit the subscribe button, share the channel, help the channel grow. And I do whatever, I try to do my best. I'm bringing you content that hopefully entertains you. And feel free to tell me otherwise. I'd like to hear the comments. I like to interact. So, and I do. God bless. Have a great day.